What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick, still no baby yet,
Get this kid out of me!
Cactus, and today we have a huge video because usually every Tuesday I'm coming at you with a Grandmaster guide. This is somewhat the same, but the big difference is that this is one of the best weeks ever for grinding incredible loot within Destiny 2. So, it's Double Nightfall rewards. And the featured Nightfall weapon is the incredible Hothead rocket launcher. Guys, this is, well, one of the best, arguably the best legendary rocket launcher in the game, and it's Arc 3.0 coming next season. This thing is going to be super meta. And not only that, but you're also getting double exotics, double ascendant shards, all of that stuff. Oh, and the Nightfall in question, the strike, the Inverted Spire, is generally considered to be one of the easiest Grandmasters in the game. So you have this incredible opportunity. If you've never beaten a Grandmaster before, this is really not that hard to beat. And if you can't even just barely squeak by, the loot you're getting is insane. 2 Hotheads guaranteed for a platinum run, plus all the exotics and shards and everything. Even if you can beat it once, is absolutely worth it. It could boost your account like you wouldn't believe. And so, let's get started. First off, we have some banger recommended loadouts for every single class. Keep in mind that the champions are barrier and unstoppable, and acute arc burn is active. So I was using a Sentinel Titan with Ward of Dawn, Towering Barricade, Shield Throw, and then Scatter Grenade. My aspects are Controlled Demolition and Bastion, both fantastic. Then Echo of Undermining, Echo of Leeching, and Echo of Obscurity. Now as for my exotic, it's the Heart of Inmost Light, absolutely fantastic with this subclass, giving you more abilities more often and making those abilities more powerful. Now, as for the weaponry, I had to do it, guys. The Arbalest, one of the best anti-champion weapons in the game, built-in anti-barrier rounds and Disruption Break, making it more powerful when you do bust that shield. Phenomenal weapon. Then, I'm actually using an Eternal Blazon. Yeah, this scout rifle is arc, so bonus damage, and then it's going to be able to deal with those unstopped champions, and the role of rapid hit plus 1 for all is very, very good. If you have one of these, it's going to be fantastic for this Nightfall. Then I'm combining that with the Storm Chaser, one of the best weapons in the game, period, and the fact that its arc is really insane. Rapid hit plus Vorpal here just for more damage, boss spec for even more damage, and what this is going to let me do is run stuff like linear fusion rifle, finder, and scavenger, and then that's going to work for my Arbalest and my Storm Chaser, and that's why this is so powerful. You're going to be getting ammo for both of these insane weapons. Now, as for the rest of the mods, Seeking Wells is a great way to get wells in higher level content without having to go out and grab them and, get yourself killed. Bountiful Wells for more well production. Well of Tenacity for more survivability, but putting on Reaping Wellmaker would be great as well. Then we've got Elemental Ordnance as my way to generate wells. And then lastly, guys, we just have a Shield Crash Wellmaker, because why not? I'm mainly using these wells just to get my abilities more often, especially paired with Heart. Now, moving on from there, guys, for the Warlock here. Pretty simple, Well of Radiance Warlock, nothing too crazy right here. You really want something like Bubble or Well to be able to potentially one-phase the boss, so you should be running one of those things. After that, for the weaponry, yep, it's the Arbalest again, but then we have an Aisha's Embrace. If you get an Adept one, you can actually run Adept Big One spec, which is great. It's Void, it's Rapid Fire, and this roll is, alright at best, but a lot of utility right here as well. You are going to be running into Void Shields, as the Flamethrower Cabal have them, and you encounter them fairly frequently, so keep that in mind. Then, same thing, a Storm Chaser to pair with that Arbalest, get the ammo advantage. This time we have Firing Line. Vorpal is more consistent. Firing Line packs a bigger punch. Any of those are going to be fantastic. Then our exotic here, Aeon Soul for more heavy ammo to make sure you always have that Storm Chaser ready, and when you're going into the boss fight, you're full on ammo. Now, as for the mods, Elemental Light doesn't even do anything really, but we're mainly using this helm here for the double finder. Again, just always getting ammo is super important. Elemental Charge to become charged with light, High Energy Fire as our payoff here, and then we have Shield Break Charge to get charged with light as well, and then we end things off with Classy Restoration. Really, this teammate is relying on us to produce wells, and he's picking up our wells, becoming charged with light, all of that stuff. Then our last teammate here for the Hunter, we're using Mobius Quiver, fantastic, Gambler's Dodge, Snare Bomb, Vortex Grenade, Trapper's Ambush, plus Vanishing Step as our aspects for ultimate invisibility, then Echo of Persistence, Echo of Obscurity, and Echo of Starvation here. Now, as for our weaponry, 3 Arbalists in my opinion is definitely overkill, so this teammate is running the Lingering Dread. So this with Blinding Grenades, auto-loading, and Chill Clip, this is like arguably the best crowd control weapon in the game right now. Like Chill Clip plus Blinding, just absurd, but you can really run any sort of Blinding Grenade. That's just gonna make things easier when you run into larger groups of enemies. Then pairing with this, guys, we actually have the Symmetry. So this thing is no joke. It's arc, right? So bonus damage, and the fact that it's an exotic matters as well. Every single exotic primary in the game gets 40% more damage against red bars. So this thing was actually shredding through red bars. If you don't have a Godroll Eternal Blazon, this is what you should absolutely be using. And then for our heavy, we have a Hothead rocket launcher. Again, this is one of the best legendaries in the game, so if you have a decent one and you're maybe trying to farm a better one, absolutely an option to use. But obviously for you guys trying to get your first one, some alternatives here are firstly the Sleepless. If you get one from the dungeon in the Dreaming City, it can spawn with Vorpal, which is huge. Or the Heretic that spawns from the moon. This can get, as you can see, Lasting Impression, which gives a ton of bonus damage. So any sort of arc rocket launcher is going to be huge in terms of damage output because Acute Arc Burn is active. Then for our exotic, we have another Aeon here with Sective Insight for more heavy. Then we've got Reaping Wellmaker, one of the best well producers on a Hunter, especially because you're using your class ability all the time. Bountiful Wells for even more well production. Radiant Light for that stat boost. And we have the ultimate resist combo here. If you have an Artifice chess piece, you can make something like this happen. It's fantastic. A Well of Utility for more class ability energy. Powerful Friends, which is going to get the dual trigger and just give you a ton more stats here. But let's move on from there and talk about a ton of tips with the strike itself. So, immediately upon spawning in, there's actually a huge skip you can do. Send one person out onto the Vex Milk Lake. They're going to veer wide to avoid ads, but then they're going to go to the leftmost kind of rock structure, as you can see right here. They hop on it and then drop down, and they can actually use the teleporters. They can get all the way across here, and normally, like where you jump to, there's a bunch of ads, but you're going to be able to run past there because the ads haven't spawned yet, jump again, and then get all the way to this area where you're blocked off right here. Now, the other group of 2 people, they just kind of play like they normally would. As you can see, you can firstly shoot this first drag, otherwise, he shoots arc, problems can happen, but then you can jump up to this kind of upper ledge here, make sure to kill the Vandal on the right, and then from this upper ledge, very easy to take out all the Vex and Cabal that spawn here. Then you're going to activate this object here, and then as soon as you do, because your one teammate is so far ahead, you're just going to teleport to allies, as you can see, and you can skip that middle section entirely and then get right to the first set of champions. Now in this part, remember there's actually 3 champions on the very bottom level. You want to deal with the first barrier one immediately, then kill all the guys on the upper level, and then before you head out, obviously turn around and deal with the last 2 champions down below, as you can see. Now moving on from there, eventually you're going to get to this section here. Just be sure to kind of stand where you see me standing on this ledge right here. This is going to give you protection. You can shoot over it at the champions, but then you can see me kind of backing up whenever I'm being engaged to avoid those bullets. Otherwise, there's not too much cover here, and you don't really want to, dip out and completely expose yourself and get cranked by a champion. Then once you've killed all these champions here, guys, you want to whip out your sparrow and head far right. Now my two teammates are going straight and then veering far right. Either way works, but eventually head up on that far right. That is going to let you avoid really all of the adds that are spawning here, and you're going to make your way forward until you get to this crater right here. And this is going to be a great point of safety to deal with a bunch of the cabal as well as the champions that are spawning here. Because after you take out the champion, there's going to be two different kind of mini bosses, one on each side with arc shields that you have to take out as well. But the next part is where a lot of teams get sent to orbit. So firstly, you can actually, from this platform before taking the man cannon, you can actually see the barrier champion in the distance here and slowly pick that guy away and kill that guy if you want to. That's going to take considerably more time, but you can absolutely do that. However, again, if you're confident in your team, you can just kill that guy normally. But once you jump up this man cannon, there's going to be a ton of enemies like facing you right away, guys. So that's why I'm recommending a blinding grenade launcher. As you can see, the blinding grenade hits and completely debilitates the entire group of adds here. And then you can see me, I'm jumping over while aiming down sights. This is huge, and this is gonna let me stun this champion as soon as I get over here. And then you need to kill this champion. Once you stun him, use your heavy, it doesn't matter, super, I don't care, just kill this unstopped champion, because if you don't, he will absolutely eviscerate your team on this ledge here, because you really don't have anywhere to go. But you can focus fire him down pretty quickly. All the enemies are blinded, one Hothead shot or one rocket launcher shot or whatever will take out these other red bar enemies, no problem. Then you can jump down here, and again, if you chose the slow strat, this barrier might already be down, but otherwise, you're just gonna have to take that guy down as well as avoid the gladiators. Now, really importantly here, you're gonna see this other champion drop in, right? This unstopped champion. Do not stun this guy until he starts walking forward and moving. You can actually stun him really early, but if you do, it'll stun him, it'll make the stun sound, but he'll just walk towards you. Yeah, it's been a glitch for years, no one's fixed it, so just wait until he actually starts, walking and moving, and then you can stun him and he'll stay still. And then you can actually, do some damage on that guy. But you can also see my teammate popped his well. That's a great idea, just to give you somewhere to hold out and melt these red bars and deal with these champions in the kind of chaos of this room. After that, you can have a bazillion war beasts spawn here, so be sure to use your abilities. You can see the scatter grenade absolutely destroys them. And then eventually this one boss guy is going to spawn. Be careful, he does shoot arc, but if you've got some storm chasers, yeah, this guy goes down in no time. Now, when it comes to using the man can, just be careful, guys. Get a blinding grenade ready, because when you jump across here, there's a guy that can spawn here. It wasn't here for us, but sometimes you will have that void shielded guy here, and he can actually just melt your team. So be sure to have, the stuff ready to take him down immediately. And then directly after that, when you've engaged these guys, just be sure to look to the right. There's a bunch of scions here that can absolutely snipe the crap out of you, but just shoot the little explodey box beside them, and it should pretty much take them all out. Then you've got the giant drill section, really not too difficult, just don't jump too high. And if you do jump a little too high, like my teammate right here who dies, no worries, just send someone forward. As soon as they get down to the boss, the enemies are not actually going to be attacking you. There are some harpies down there, but they don't attack you until you start damaging them. So that's going to teleport everyone there. You can get the reses, make sure everyone's good to go, and then you can deal with these harpies no problem, and then you want to deal with the boss. So Like I said, you want a bubble or a well for that extra damage. You want to make sure you have some heavy ammo to deal with this guy. Do as much damage as you can, and the one phase is absolutely possible here. We just missed it, and if you do miss it, no problem, because as you can see, you drop down, and then you have to wait a little bit. Like, if you have a grenade that does damage over time, like a vortex, it's a great opportunity to throw that, and it'll be immune, and then you'll see damage, and once you see that damage, you can call out to your teammates, okay, he's vulnerable, a few more shots, you'll finish this guy in no time, and holy crap, you will get a ridiculous amount of rewards. If for whatever reason you don't finish this guy, you're going to drop down one more level, guys. And again, just try to focus fire the boss the second he spawns. Otherwise, you're going to be swarmed with ads, and it's going to be very difficult. You really want these amazing arc heavies. You know, there are fantastic arc heavies, so it really isn't too problematic to get that one phase, or like we did, like the cheeky second phase that really isn't too difficult, and then you can avoid all the ads that normally spawn in the boss fight, and again, get an insane amount of loot. Guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.